Hey, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. In one of my coziest robes, we've got some days of just ridiculous, crazy rain, and it's supposed to snow today. I'm hoping. I don't see snow yet, but it's definitely big drops of rain. My granddaughter's already here, but luckily she's still sleeping, so I can get my videos done. I call this one details. Details today because I'm working on a lot of detailed things. I'm doing the 90-day challenge. Today is day 9. It's really interesting. I popped down to day 40, what I had mapped out and planned out. Because remember I said ahead of time when I'm doing a challenge, I'll just list out, show you my process. I know it's crazy. It's an old-fashioned notebook. But I will list out what I think my topics are going to be for all 90 days, right? Each of the topics. Now, as I'm actually doing the challenge and implementing it, I change things around based on the input and the feedback and what people are responding to. So today, and for the next few days, I'm actually popping to day 40, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 44, and then 40, maybe 45. But so for the next 5 or 6 days in a row, instead of going with what I had planned for day 9, 10, 11, and 12, which I don't even know what those are now. Oh, yes, I do. But instead of doing that, I'm responding to what people want, and I'm pushing down the things that I thought they could handle first, and I'm moving those to later in the challenge. So it's details, it's things like that. It's the actual implementation and taking action on things that need to be considered and responded to. So I'm working on that. Also working on some funnels, finishing up some funnels for some customers, and working on the details of those. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned or not, but I'm not a detail gal. It's why design things are hard for me. I know what looks good, but me actually making it and doing it, it's the nitty gritty detailed stuff that makes me crazy. So I usually hand that off and don't do that. But for a couple of these projects, I committed to doing it, so I have to do it myself. So I'm finishing up the details of a couple of funnels, a membership area for the 90-day challenge. I know what it is to go in there. I know how to do it. It's easy. I've got the content already for the first 8 days, but I am struggling with, what do I want the design to be? What do I want the colors to be? And does it really matter? No, those things don't matter one bit. What matters is the content. So those detailed things are the things that get me. And then, the whole magnifying glass thing, it is why I really need somebody to follow behind me and clean things up, because I don't like making mistakes. I don't like having spelling errors. I don't like having, the wrong letter or the wrong word appear in something, because people then assume that you're sloppy or that you didn't do it right or that you're not good at what you do. And maybe that's not what other people assume, but that's what I sometimes human naturally assume about myself. Okay, then I know that some areas of my life I'm a little chaotic and sloppy in, but when it comes to creating things for other people, I don't want to be ever viewed as sloppy or missing the details. So I'm working on the details. So it's kind of fun as you're implementing things to change them up and change them around and be flexible and know that just because I mapped out and planned and thought something should be a certain way, it doesn't mean that's how it should be, because I want to be customer-centric, customer-focused. I want to help you figure out what it is that you want and how you want it, not how I think I should feed it to you. Excuse me. The weather is stirring up weirdness in my throat today. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of the old teaching model and teachers where, and it's still, okay, it's not the old model, it's what they still do today. Teachers create a curriculum of what they want you to learn and know. And it doesn't ever, or it very seldom has anything to do with what it is you want to achieve and learn for knowledge. It's, here's what you're going to learn. Here's what we've got to give you. We're going to force feed it to you. You're going to feed it back to us by memorizing it, and then we'll give you a grade. Now, seriously, when I understood in my college years, there were many of them, that it didn't matter what I wanted out of the course. Well, it did. I always wanted an A. I set my goal. Okay, if I go into a class and I want an A, I learned very quickly that all I needed to do was do exactly what the professor wanted, give them, meet their needs and their expectations, and that's how I would get my A. And it wasn't until I discovered that, probably around my junior year, that I went from a little bit of a challenge in school, in college, to just acing it. My grade point average went from, I don't even know what it was before, but I graduated, with high honors with like a 3.8 from my college and got 3 degrees, which is absolutely ridiculous. Ask my parents. My father's passed away, but he would tell you it was ridiculous. I went to college for a long time, but I had some health challenges in there, so there was justification for me dragging out my college. And it also then got me 3 degrees. I would say 2 of which I've never used, but it was good to have them. Well, actually, I'm kind of using one now that I never thought I'd use. It was dormant for 30 years, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should learn something and do something in that area. So the area of marketing. I have actually got a marketing degree from the U of M, and I've never used it. I've never really done any marketing. I never understood or cared about marketing. I was always in manufacturing, quality, and things like that. And so marketing was like the last on my list of things that took priority or got any attention. And now I'm in a world where they believe that marketing is all you have to do. Marketing and sales. And then somebody else has to worry about delivering on the things that you promise. It's kind of mind-boggling. So details. Again, for a person that I am actually good at putting systems in place for other people to handle the details and for creating processes for other people to handle the details. But when it comes to handling the details, I don't love it. I can do it. I'm strong at it, but I don't love it. And I believe that I should do things that I love, things that are in my genius zone, just like you should do things you love and that you are the best at, because that is the highest, best use of our time. That's what we're here for, is to feel good and enjoy our lives and do what is our biggest contribution to the world and to other people. So details are my thing today. It's why I got an accountant. The very first outside thing that I ever delegate is accounting and taxes. I used to do my taxes myself for a long, long time. And then when we got a bunch of different businesses and the manufacturing business, and it just got too complicated. And so I actually hired an accountant to do my accounting. Because why? Accounting is a totally detail-oriented thing. One thing in, one thing out, balancing it all out. Yeah, not so good. Not so fun. I can do it, but it's not so fun. So what are something that you are awesome at, that you love to do? Are you doing it? Are you doing and spending your time doing that every day? You won't see me talk about details very often because I'm not very often doing the details. I'm doing the big 90-day overview and the overview of what needs to happen. And then I am doing the things in that I'm really good at. I'm good at creating content. I can create content till I turn blue. I don't even have to think hard about creating content. Now, I have to get a little better at matching my content to what it is that my ideal clients and customers need, but I don't have any problem finding ways, creating content, sharing information, teaching people how to do things. I love doing it, and that's why I don't have any problem doing it. I love cooking. I don't have any trouble coming up with, I always wanted to do a pantry challenge, I call it, where I'd do a reality show where I would go into anybody's house and no matter what they have in their fridge and their pantry, I would create a meal out of it. So that's what I call the pantry challenge, because I am just really good at that. And I think some people are and some people aren't, but I love cooking so much and have been cooking for so many years. And I used to secretly read, not secretly, but I used to read cookbooks for fun. I know I don't cook with recipes because I've read hundreds of cookbooks, and after you read hundreds of cookbooks, guess what? Everything congeals in your amazing brain, and all of a sudden you don't need cookbooks anymore because you can just, you know what goes well together. You know what flavors go well together. You know what things to use and to add, and you know what to do. Now, I will pull out a recipe for a couple of key things like Grandma's Christmas cookies or a couple other things because I want to make sure I do those right and measure those right. But for the most part, when it comes to cooking, yeah, it's all no holds barred. It's like whatever I throw in, I throw in. So what are things that you just love to do? And maybe you're a detail-oriented person. If you are, you could probably hit me up because I could sure use some help in that area. But I do get it all done. So go out, make it an awesome day. I plan to too. I want to make my 90-day challenge videos because I do 2 a day. And I will, of course, see you tomorrow. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form, hit me up in the messages. You can just Google Sharon Horne-Ellstrom or Pajama Grandma, Grandma with the Gramma, and you can find me on pretty much every of the main platforms. Although on Instagram, I'm Supersize Your Business. Supersize Business. Otherwise, the platforms, you can find me by my name. LinkedIn's probably the best place to find me. I tend to respond to that faster, or Facebook. Hit me up on Facebook, but send me a Facebook message. And if you send me a Facebook message, post something on my wall telling me that you sent me a message. Otherwise, I get a lot of message requests. And if you're not already a friend of mine or already connected, then it goes into the other file. And I will tell you, I never look at the other file ever, unless somebody tells me to look at the other file. So that's it. Again, that's a detailed thing. Go out, make it an awesome day. I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.